Hello, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Water Talk. My name is Doug Davis. I'm your host. And Water Talk is sponsored by EcoloBlue. What we do at EcoloBlue is manufacture atmospheric water generators. These are machines that make water from air. So we take the air into the machine, it runs through an electrostatic filter, and then it hits a condensation point where water is collected and fed through an advanced filtration system. And at the end of that process, you end up with a very clean, healthy drink of water. Our home and office units can produce up to 8 gallons a day, and we have industrial units that can produce from 66 gallons up to 1,600 gallons per day. So we invite you to look at the technology and look at the products that we have. Go to our website at EcoloBlue, that's ECOLO Blue, BLUE.com, and all the information is there for you. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the necessary health that's required by the water that your body needs, the problems that we're having throughout the state of California and throughout the country, actually, with regards to contaminants, impurities, things that you'll find in the water, and the necessity of having healthy drinking water and the lack thereof. Today we have a guest on our show, Mr. Gene Beck, and Mr. Gene Beck owns
Becks M&T.
Becks M&T machine shop and appliance shop, and he is an expert in water filtration and also wastewater management. And I'd like to welcome Gene to our show. Gene, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for
So
having me.
you have quite an extensive history in dealing with water and water problems, isn't that correct?
Yeah, about 40 plus years, so there's been a few years.
So what was it that got you into the water industry?
Into the water industry was started when I was 16, and it was a necessity to have gasoline and tires on your car. So I went to work for a company that came out of Bellflower when I was 16, and then it went on from there. So it's been fun.
Tell us about some of the larger projects you've been involved with.
The last main project that we worked on was a dialysis center in Santa Maria, California, and it's one of the biggest ones in the state of California. And we just got done putting that one together under one roof. It's a good-sized building, and it's all sophisticated pieces of equipment. I had a girl and we put the whole water system together, and it's a pretty extensive unit. There's two central CWP water systems that are ROs, but we're kind of here to listen to Doug on having other alternatives for water in case we need some kind of backup.
So when you say RO, explain a little more detail for the audience in case they're not familiar with that terminology.
Yeah, reverse osmosis basically is, most of the time if you just say you put sugar in a glass of water, it wants to disperse evenly. And what reverse osmosis means is to do the opposite. You try and take all that product, mineral, contaminant, whatever, out of the water completely. So that's the reason why they call it reverse osmosis.
Now, I know that within our filtration system that we have in our products, one of the primary filters, we actually have 12 different filters throughout the process of our products and our technology, and one of the primary filter is reverse osmosis. In a nutshell, that means that only and correct me if I'm wrong, but only the oxygen and hydrogen molecules are passing through that filter. So once the water is passed through the reverse osmosis filter, you're just ending up with very neutral, clean water. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically 99% pure water. And it's been a good, stable situation of making pure water so that you can drink it. Because in the dialysis center that I'm faced with every day, the water has to be pure because the patients are prone for anything in the water that will contaminate them, and it'll cause them problems, physically, mentally, and everything. That's a big subject for them.
So do you find that it's most medical centers are looking for some kind of a solution with regards to purified water?
I believe that they are, but also I could see like your piece of equipment in a office or something. It's real simple. Wheel it in the corner. You don't have to. You don't have to pick up that big 5-gallon jug, and then the person writes in and to the company and says they have a back problem and solves the problem. A lot of different ways, and then you're drinking good water, too.
Well, plus if they're making their own water from air, which is what our products do, they don't have to worry about their water bill. They don't have to worry about the type of water that's coming into their office or into their home. So it's a great solution, the products that we do have to offer. Tell me about some of the other projects you've been involved with.
Most of the time it's been, well, way back too, I did we were employed, a bunch of us water treatment operators were employed out at Vandenberg Air Force Base to rebuild both of their water plants. And so we were employed out there until they laid about 2,000 people off in Vandenberg Air Force Base. And that was a very interesting situation to be in Vandenberg Air Force Base, because there is all types of different types of water systems out there. There's isolated ones for, so it will stand on its own, and then if they had, like your piece of equipment, they wouldn't have as much trouble as they had years ago at some of these outgoing facilities that they had in the base.
What type of problems were they running into?
Just getting it pumped up there, getting it filtered. They had different places that were they were basically off-site down the road, and they had to be substantially self-contained. And there is a lot of issues there, because they have to pump it there, they have to basically store it there long enough and clean it up so that it's good forever. So there's a lot of issues there.
Do they have problems with chlorine or over-chlorination?
No, they didn't have a lot of troubles with chlorine, but we're faced with that every day at any of the other facilities we work at. And, you know, the chloramines is really bad on people, and chlorine itself is bad on elderly. Gives them digestible problems. Secondly, makes bad coffee.
It makes bad coffee. So much like a military base or a medical facility, a surgery center, something of that nature, anywhere that they're going to be on their own water supply, they have to be worried about what's in the water in regards to not just what they're finding in the water, but what's being put in the water. With municipalities, there's chlorine. We had a discussion earlier about fluoride. Can you touch on that?
Oh. Fluoride is an interesting situation. I have to be a little selective on it. But what happens is a lot of cities in the state of California put it into the water. It isn't normally there, but they have the belief that it is good for bones and teeth of our children. But when you have a small body like a child, what they put into the water now that's basically suggested by the state of California is 0.1 parts per million. Well, there's all kinds of information that if you have a baby, because of its body mass, it will kill or maim the baby if you give him that 0.1 part per million.
I mean, that just doesn't sound like very much at all, though, does it?
No, it isn't, but you're looking at a small body mass. If you have a bigger body mass, then we can take on a lot of contaminants that we do every day, and it's our body's pretty resilient, amazingly. Otherwise, people like diabetics, they aren't so resilient, and they usually end up having kidney failure, and then we have to clean their blood for them. and basically their life is over with, other than existing on a machine 2 or 3 days a week for like 4 or 5 hours. So it's pretty rough on them, but they get to see their grandkids and stuff like that.
So these are the dialysis machines that you're referring to?
Right.
So you would do a lot of work with different dialysis centers?
Yeah. The main one I've been putting together is the big one in Santa Maria, because it was pretty extensive, and it took almost a year to build from ground up. And then I had to build and design a lot of the equipment inside of it. So it was challenging.
Now, you do guest speaking from time to time, is that correct? You go out and is it fair to say you give lectures?
Every once in a while I get a chance to have lectures to our state water operators, and they really enjoy my good old lectures, and they enjoy it. We try to hit on topics that nobody else does, because I'm pretty independent, pretty open-minded. So I end up telling people about, how about your saran wrap you put on your food and you put it in the microwave? Every piece of plastic that's flexible has carcinogens in it, and carcinogens make cancer.
Right. That is something I want to talk about when we come back from these commercial breaks. We have a lot of more interesting information for you in the way of the health, the requirements of the water. There's some local communities in California, Oakhurst and Coarse-Gold. We can talk about some of the challenges that they're facing. But we thank you for joining us. We'll be right back after these messages. Hello, thank you and for joining us, and welcome back. We're on with Gene Beck of Gene Beck's M&T store. You'll find that both in Nipomo over on the Central Coast and Oakhurst, up in the foothills here of California, correct?
Right.
How long have you been in business now?
I've been in basically starting out in the appliance business clear back in 1978. So it kind of goes along with water coolers and water treatment stuff, including washing your clothes. Did that too.
We want to take this opportunity to welcome Gene into the EcoloBlue family as one of our newest dealers. So if you'd like to go see one of our home and office units in person, you can go into Gene's store there, and you can purchase one there also. You can see it work, taste the water from air, and try it out for yourself. And we want to thank you for being a part and representing the product for us and getting the word out there. During the break, we were talking about how the public does need to get educated. What are some of the problems that you see within your marketplaces in regards to the water quality that's going on?
The big thing is just trying to get the public to listen to you. They have a tendency to listen to big corporations about, that put out, let's say they're operating a water treatment system in a city or a town or something like that, and they pretty much figure that they're an establishment that will not give them something that's bad, and they basically believe that, and it's really hard to get to the point where you can get them to listen to you a little bit, and so I've been trying to do lectures here and there. I'm going to do some local city council or school, in a school or something that's locally in that town, and do some lectures, and hopefully we can get the public to learn a lot of things about water. So,
well, what types of things are you wanting them to learn? What types of challenges are you coming across out there?
The big challenge is just getting the exposure to talk to them, and they always believe that it's going to cost them something, or to listen, or they just don't want to go out of their way because they feel that it is. Society is taking care of them, and they think that they are pretty they're basically a lot of times closed-minded, and they shouldn't be. I end up looking at all new kind of products that are coming out. This last year, I've seen quite a few new products come out that we are faced with that are good products, being I'm basically a designer of stuff, I can pretty much say, okay, this is a good product, and it will take care of a lot of the issues that we have out there. So that's the big thing.
So when you go into your lecture, what I guess, to be more specific on my question, what are the problems with the water that you're finding? Is it just overchlorinated? Is there too many contaminants? Are they? I mean, up in Oakhurst, where your store is up there, there's a lot of slate, granite slate within the ground. It's contaminated. If I'm not mistaken, it's contaminating the groundwater up there. Is that correct?
Yeah. Anytime you're pumping out of granite, that's basically what's below. You're going to get uranium, and it's basically volcanic material. So therefore, you're going to also get arsenic. You're going to get cyanide.
Oh my gosh!
And all this stuff causes cancer. One of the things that I don't hear about that is a issue that I've seen it when you see the water analysis is nitrates, and nitrates will also basically cause problems with everybody, including, again, people that have small masses that are basically babies. It will cause birth defects if the woman is pregnant and she drinks a lot of water with those type of contaminants, in arsenic, cyanide, nitrate, and uranium, definitely.
And selenium, is that another?
Yeah, selenium is another one. There's quite a few, but the ones that are really faced with right now are those, basically like those 3 and 4 ones that we have now that's in the water now. And you're going to see a lot of that stuff still in, let's say, state water. State water it has a lot of different contaminants, so you have to need to really filter it. You can, even when you cook food, if you take the water out of the sink, you have to believe that if it's got so many parts per million of a contaminant in it, you're going to make it more parts per million. It's going to be more concentrated because you're going to boil a bunch of water away from it. So you're going to end up creating more problems.
So it becomes more of a condensed, contaminated water.
Contaminated water. Everybody says, oh, we'll just boil it and it should be good, but
they're evaporating the water out, leaving the particles in, and
Right.
actually making it worse, parts per million, more concentrated, to be more harmful for the body.
Right.
Wow.
And then one of the good staples is, again, is the plastic membrane RO that we push water through it and get pretty close to pure water. And it's really ensures that you have good health that way.
So if they're able to make their own water from air, they're actually finding a very good solution to get away from all this contaminated water source.
And
Is
then
that right?
plus then you have all your filtration on top of that, so you're going to definitely have a good product. So, yeah.
So are there areas of California that you know of specifically that are in, would it be fair to say they're in a crisis mode?
I kind of believe the whole state of California is in crisis mode, because one of the big things is we have a big quantity of people that are concentrated in this state, and the need of good drinking water is just becoming really hard to find. So it's getting to the point where we have to start hustling and coming up with some good ideas, and if we don't, we're gonna pay
In the long run,
in the long run. Medical problems, and all of us know about medical problems. It costs us a lot of money, and a lot of these contaminants do cause problems with you. So
if someone's at home and they're watching this episode, what would your recommendation be to them in the way of testing the quality of their water? What would you say to someone, or what do you say to people when they contact you for a water solution or a water treatment solution? What are the steps or the process you take them through?
most of the time you can, if you look at any city's supposed to have their own website. They're supposed to be able to access it and get their water analysis out of it, and it will also tell you how much what they have that's past the standards of the California drinking water. And then you really should take note. If you can't get one, then you need to find somebody like me, and we'll find you a write-up copy of it and give it to you, because I'd rather spend some of my money just trying to get you to know what's there, what's in your city, what's going on with the drinking water, and be aware of it.
Do you have people bring samples into your stores?
Not totally right now, but we're going to try to set up a company over in basically Frisco area that will do water analysis stuff, and that way we can take samples, send them off, and get you analysis. Let's say if you have a well, then we'll help you try to get analysis of that well, because why drink the well water if it's highly concentrated with minerals and product stuff that will give you cancer? So.
I wouldn't know why someone would want to do that.
So.
I think they should make their own water from air and not have any of these issues. Gene, I want to thank you for being on our show today. If someone wanted to get in touch with you, what would be the best phone number for that?
Best phone number is my cell phone, because I'm usually there 24/7 to ask any questions that somebody needs. Doesn't cost you anything. You just have to pick my brain, and I will give you the answers. It's 805-478-4003.
Excellent. So there you have it. You can reach Gene directly. You can ask him any water questions that you might have in regards to possible contamination that you're dealing with. We urge you to go to your local city, your local township, have them test your water so you can know exactly what's going on. More than that, we implore you to please look at our products and our technology so you can see the benefits of making your own water from air. You don't have to worry about emergency preparedness. You don't have to worry about blackout, turning off your water main or busting your water main. We have a video for you to watch. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
The revolution in water resource management is here. Introducing EcoloBlue's atmospheric water generators. EcoloBlue's generators are able to take humidity right out of the atmosphere and turn that humidity into the cleanest drinking water that you can get. Everyday tap water contains thousands of different particles in it. However, EcoloBlue's generators not only filter out many of these particles, but they add minerals to your water to make sure you have the purest drinking water available. EcoloBlue is both economically sound as well as environmentally safe. Why pay outrageous prices for bottled water when you can pay just 20 cents per gallon with EcoloBlue? In addition to saving money, you'll also be saving the environment. Unlike bottled water companies that produce tons of plastic waste that harms our planet, EcoloBlue's products produce little to no waste. With EcoloBlue, you now have more options for the use of your water than ever before. In addition to the hot and cold functions to your generator, you now have the ability to carbonate your water. Enjoy making soda water right in the comfort of your own home. Having EcoloBlue is now essential when being prepared for any emergency. Each day, 850 water mains break in North America alone. Add on natural disasters such as droughts, hurricanes, and earthquakes, having the ability to be water independent is more important than ever. With EcoloBlue, you're no longer dependent on traditional sources for water. From our smaller home-sized generators to our industrial-sized generators, EcoloBlue has a solution for any situation. And now with our new solar panel kits, you can be truly water independent. Assert your water independence. Thousands of businesses and families across America have been enjoying pure drinking water for years thanks to EcoloBlue. To get more information, visit our website at EcoloBlue.com or call us at 1-800-691-6043.